Hi, Graham from Vape Underground, and today we're taking a look at the CUT220 mod kit by Desire. This was sent to me by BuyBest. So opening up the box, what we'll find inside is all the contents, and there's some under the tray as well. But to start with, we'll look at the glass tube. There you go, you've got a spare one just in case you smash it. You've got a 0.2 ohm mesh coil, triple mesh coil. Best wattage range for this is about 100 to 120 watts. I've yet to use it. You get your spare baggie of O-rings just in case you need to replace any, and then you get the bulldog tank. We're going to come back to this later, but I just want to show you the design of it. Doesn't that look different? I like the top of it, and more importantly, we get the CUT220 mod. Just going to have a quick look around this. Look at the shape of that. It's nice, it's ergonomic, very different. And then underneath the tray you get your typical USB cable, and you get your warranty card. There you go. Also, here's your instruction manual just to show you how to install coils, what the buttons do, and the menu features. So let's have a look at the tank first. Really like the design of the tank. Lots of different cutouts and notches and areas on it. Interesting. It's got adjustable airflow on the bottom. It does lock once you push it so far over, but what opens on one side opens on another. The 510 pin isn't really safe on a mech mod. As you can see, it's a static pin, and then on the bottom you've got the engravings, your serial number, and Bulldog designed by Desire. Taking a look at the drip tip, it is at 810, but it does require a O-ring around it to be a solid fit. Otherwise your typical 810 drip tips are a little bit loose. To open up to fill, you simply push on the notch side there with the grooves, the dimples, and it reveals the kidney hole. Quite deep, quite open, plenty to fill it with a Gorilla bottle. In here I do have the 0.18 coil installed. As you can see, I've been using it, but the threads are all smooth. It's nice. No problems with wicking. It's been really good. Typically this coil works best at about 80 to 110 watts. I've been running it at about 80, 85, and there you go. Nice and clean, nice and smooth. Let's put the coil back in, give it a tighten, and just so you can see the top there, your glass tube, and just up inside. Nothing special, nothing extra to look at. And screw this back together. Just be careful to make sure you don't cross the threads over. And let's have a look at the mod. Really like the design of this. Ergonomic in both hands, and your finger seems to fall on the button whichever hand you're holding it in. It's got design written on the side. Very smooth, very clean. Probably end up with lots of scratches and fingerprints. I've not had any play in the battery door at all. It doesn't wobble, doesn't click, doesn't move, doesn't annoy the hell out of me. Would have been nice to see a tab in there, but it's not required. So what we can do is we'll stick some batteries in, and just so I can show you, it's quite easy to insert the batteries and get them out as well, but there you go. So left hand side is positive up, right hand side is positive down. Click. To turn it on, it's 5 clicks. And then you'll be presented with the menu settings. This is what I've been using recently, is bypass. 3 clicks to enter the menu, and then you've got novice, advanced, color, LED set, device, and then back to novice. Novice, it automatically registers the coil and it adjusts the wattage based on that. Into advanced, you can cycle through bypass, variable wattage, nickel, titanium, stainless steel, and you also have some memory functions and a curve function on there, which I'm not a big fan of, but some people use them. Myself, I prefer bypass, but there you go. You also have the option to change over the color of the menu and the LED light. and you've got several different options of colours there to match the mod or match the RDA. But you can also change the LED that lights up when you fire, and you get the choice of whether you want it on all the time, whether you want it to come on when it fires, or whether you just want it off. To show that though, I'm probably going to need to put a tank on, but I will just get into it. There you go. LED colours, you've got red, green, blue, purple and white. Sorry about the dog. I did get confused with the menus because you have to go back in. If you go back out, there you go, you can see the colour options for the LED light. Quite like blue, matches the RDA. Just put this on just so you can see it fire. Let's reduce it. There you go. So let's put some juice in this tank and fill it up. So what I'll do is I'll just fill this up with my favourite juice, I must say, of all time, Just Jam Raspberry Donut from Ace of Vapes. But this juice is my go-to juice when testing because I know how it should taste, I know what it tastes like, so then I can figure out how good a coil is or an RDA is. So this is why I use it. And also because I do like it a lot. But that's not the point. The juice capacity for this tank is 4.3 ml, so it does take a few squeezes unfortunately, but it's going to be well worth it. Just make sure you don't fill it right up to the top, because when you close the lid you will get a bit of excess drippage or spillage, so just wipe it off with some tissue paper, and there you go. What we'll do is we'll go back up top and I will give you my thoughts and opinions on the tank and the mod. There we go. Hope you enjoyed the down below bit. I'm going to start out with the tank. I'm not a big fan of the tank. I didn't find it as flavourful as I hoped, but I am now moving on to the 0.2 ohm coil and I'm starting to enjoy that a little bit more. It's very, very airy. I think for anybody who wants a more restricted hit, you can close off the airflow, but I don't like the whistle. I don't like the noise it makes. It is a little bit intense. Yeah, it's a bit too much. So I've not enjoyed the coils, I've not enjoyed the tank as much as I hoped to. I'm not saying it's a bad tank, I'm not saying it's the best tank either. I think it's just very mediocre. I like the design, I like the look of it, I like the colours, I like all the little areas within it, on it as well. I think it's nicely done, but the flavour is lacking. The fact that you can't really use your own 810 drip tips, for those that like to customize and change things over, that's a bit of a downer really. And I don't like that. It's got this little funny lip as well on top, so your 810 sits on top of it and then it causes a lip, which to me is a pain. It's going to play on the brain a little bit. Besides that though, if it is a starter tank, you would be okay with it, you'd probably enjoy it, you'd like the flavour, but for those more experienced users, you're probably going to notice those little things about it, like lack of flavour, noisy and so on. So that's all I could really say about the tank. If I was going to go and buy the whole kit and I got the tank for free, and I probably wouldn't use the tank, but for those new users, you get a whole kit with a tank on top. It's going to be alright. Personally, I've been enjoying running this with RDAs. Now, the mod itself I do like. I'm just going to change over the mod function. I've been running this in bypass mode, and bypass mode also runs on both batteries, so you can get 8.4 volts at startup with a fresh battery. So you can put series builds on here as well. So at the moment I've got a 0.23 ohm build. Let's just drip a little custard. There we go. And the clouds are pretty impressive. It's got a very quick ramp up, hardly noticeable. It's reliable. I've been using this for a good solid couple of weeks. And for that reason, I've taken a bit of extra time to do this review, because there's a lot of aspects to this mod that I wanted to check and see if it works. First of all, was there going to be any play in the battery door after a couple of weeks. There is none. There is no clickiness, there is no movement whatsoever, as you can hear. It is solid. The battery cover sits on very, very nicely. The magnets are really strong, it doesn't drop off. I've dropped this mod twice and I can see the corner where I've hit it, but it's only because I know that it landed there and there's no damage to it, so it's done quite well. I like the overall design of this. It's very ergonomic in your hand, and I notice that my finger sits wherever I put it in my hand, but then on the opposite side it still sits the same. So it's nice, it's comfortable. It is a little bit larger than most mods out there, but not noticeably. It just feels comfortable. I think there's going to be some upgradable software to this at some point. They have got a charging port on there, and I guess for firmware updates, but I've not seen any as of yet. The menu system, one thing that bugs me about the menu system is that if you're going through it and you don't want to select something, you want to go back one level, you have to go back out the menu fully and then go back into the menu again. So you can find yourself cycling in and out quite a lot, which can frustrate you at times if you select the wrong menu option. And then you want to go back in, you have to change it, go back to the next one. Or if you change your colour over, you don't like the colour, you have to go back in and change. You get where I'm going with this. So once you've got it set, once you've got it all lined up and working, it's fine. I like the fact you can have the lights come on when you're vaping, like so, or you can have it so it stays on. I'm thinking about battery life, so I don't put the light on unless I'm actually vaping. Sorry about the clouds. I told you, series is the way to go. The battery life has been good. The battery indicators have been accurate as well so far. I've not had any problems. It's got a 1.3 inch LED display, which is more than enough to read, and they've made use of this spare display area by putting that light on there. So many mods we see that it looks like you're going to have a massive display and then it's just a top box or a top corner and the rest of it is blank. Desire have taken advantage of that and used the whole area to give us something pretty to look at, which works really well. It's got all the safety features of a regulated device, overheat protection, etc. and so on. So you know you can use this quite safely. You can fire down to a 0.08 ohms and it will go up to 3 ohms, I do believe. I'm just going to check that actually just to make sure. Yeah, there you go. 0.08 and a 3 ohm coil. So there's plenty of range there. It's made out of stainless steel and aluminium, so it's got some weight in it, but I think more so from the batteries. There's some vent holes on the bottom here as well, so if you do have any battery failure, at least we know that the gases are going to come out and away from our face, and hopefully that shouldn't happen though with the protection. That's really good. I'm probably going to say something that I'm hoping I don't regret, but I've had a lot of regulated devices over the last year, and this is the first one that has really stumped me. I've really enjoyed it. I really have enjoyed it, and I know people say this a lot about certain devices, but this one has got my attention, not only because of the safety features and also because of the different options and the pretty colour lights and how comfortable it is in your hand, but because it also suits a new vapor. Now on the beginner option on the menu, you as a new vapor, you don't have to worry about setting the resistance and setting the wattage. It does it for you automatically. It reads the coil, it locks the resistance and it sets the wattage. That is a big bonus for a new vapor who's just getting into vaping and doesn't know all about Ohm's law and resistances and battery amperages. So this is a good mod from anybody from a new user all the way up to what I would say is my level, who likes to rebuild, make their own coils, run things in series, needs something to carry around with a bit of protection. This is the device for me. I'm enjoying this. This has been living with me on a daily basis everywhere I go for the last 2 weeks. I've waffled too much now. You're probably sick of looking at this face again. You can head over to BuyBest and make a purchase. The link is down below for you in the description. There are 5 different colour options to choose from. Hopefully one of them will float your boat. Thank you very much. I've been Graham Vape Underground. Have a great day and see you all soon.